You remember how that bridge, they always blew that bridge out over in DC Village? Well, for some reason, we decided not to go that way. We went, if you're facing the bridge, we went to the left of there, and I don't know my direction. And we crossed that little canal right over there, and when we came out, it's a big open field, and there was 6 to 8 of them, NBA. And we actually had to hold the rest of the guys back. There's like 6 people up there. We held the rest of them back because if we would have waited for them, they would have been too far away for us to get. So we just let them have it. Just like us, they're trained as soon as they hear round fire, they hit the dirt. So anyway, I'm calling all of it, and I'm telling Six everything that's going on, all that kind of crap like that. And he says, okay, he goes, bring the element across. I was between RPO. Who's my Koch, yeah, Koch. I had Sonny, and he had just, in fact, Koch was on his second week when I got hit. Anyway.
Wait, so you, because I just walked in, how many times did you get hit?
6, maybe 7.
This is separate. What is the radio? This is separate from the time you got hit.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there was 5 months, 4 months.
So you get shot twice in 2 different times?
Well, I got a piece of shrapnel upside my knee, which was nothing. That was a joke.
Yeah, just a piece of metal in your knee.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Huh. This time, like I say, I got it big time. And what happens, right, these guys went down. We didn't know how many of them. I called Six, and I said, we think the rest of them did to the wood line. Now it's near dusk at this point. And Six goes, okay. He goes, when you get him? And I went, say again?
Yeah.
And he called me Carrot. I used to have right here. And he goes, you heard me, Carrot. He's but only going about 50 meters. Okay. Roger that. I took Koch. By this time the element had moved, so the back element went to see what happened over here. We went forward like this, so we're in a crescent like this. And Wah, is it Wah? Yeah, this one. Wah goes walking into this bush. And it comes alive. You to me. And he turned around. I'll never forget that look on his face. The old deer caught, the headlights, that's what it looked like. Instinctively, I just put 60 down. I was on the semi, and I just kept going blam, 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 blam. Well, he apparently, I must not have hit him, of course, but he turns on me and he just lets me have it. And the first two, now I'm a lefty, but I'm like this, and I'm shooting. The first two came in here and they played in between me and my rifle. And it blew my finger off. Took another part of this, so that's where I think maybe 2 of them. Because I had a crease that went across like that, and then I had one. I think what happened is it hit the magazine.
Yeah, and it ricocheted.
And it ricocheted off and then just blew my finger apart. But that caused me to go like, I don't know, one way or the other. But as I'm going down, I got 2 in the shoulder here, back here. And that sort of flipped me this way.
Right.
And as I'm actually hitting the ground, I got 2 more right in the side here. And
the radio absorbed at least 4.
Yeah. Radio was right.
And this, in fact, the guy that I'm going to say saved my life, or at least was very influential in getting me to better ground to where the medics could start working on me. This guy named Reuinion. Yeah. He was in his 11th month.
Rodney Reuinion.
And he
was still in the field in the 11th
he
month?
was in the rear, and he couldn't stand it. He could not stand.
Was an oddball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tight end, middle linebacker.
Yeah. Big guy. Big guy. Yeah.
But all I remember is the radio was like pushing on my head. We were like, it was getting towards the dry season, so there was about this much water, and I would just, my chin was hitting the water. I mean, I'm not going to drown or anything like that, but anyway, he took the knife off there. He cut the radio off my body actually, grabbed the radio in one hand, and I don't know how he did, but he still had his rifle, and he grabbed me by the collar like this, and just dragged me up into higher ground. And I'm screaming. I'm hit, I'm fucking hit, oh fuck. I mean, I'm just going nuts. And, well, this is the funny part of the story. I always tell the story.
Doc Sidoti.
So, okay, now I'm over there, and of course, what's going around me at this point is just, all hell is breaking loose. You know, there's shooting going on.
Just the 6 of you are up there now? Nobody from the rear came up yet?
Well, no, I think by that time we must have had help. Because by that time, Rack was not with us, and he was with us, because he called in my dust bag.
Right after he got hit,
But,
the rest of us were moving up.
Yeah. So, okay, I get up there, and they're throwing those gauze pads at me.
Yeah.
And they're hitting me, and they're hitting Doc, and they're hitting everybody, and everything like that. And I remember Rupnick is taking them, ripping them apart with his teeth, stuffing them in these holes, just stuffing them, and he's shuddering. I'll never forget it. Like that while he's doing it. He's so fucking in shock of what happened to me.
Yeah.
And finally, the medic gets over here. And he looks at me and everything, and he's brand new. I'm his first guy.
A little Indian from Native American from Colorado. A little short guy.
Yeah, I'm his first guy. I'm his Jerry.
And you can.
And like you remember in first aid class, they had those 10 steps of how to treat somebody that's wounded.
Yeah.
Well, like I always say, it's treat and prevent shock, stop the bleeding,
Clear the airway.
clear the airway,
Yeah.
reassure the patient.
Right.
You know that? He crawls up to me. Just looks like this with those big white eyes. He goes, "Jesus Christ, are you fucked up?" and I'm laying like this, you know. And I just looked up at him like this. I went, "You're not supposed to tell me that," you know.
You know, Sidoti, he and Gary Wallace, Doc Wallace, were real good friends. They were both from Colorado. When they got out of the Army, they remained good friends. And Sidoti, somewhere in the 90s, got into drugs real bad.
Oh.
Spent time in prison. And as a matter of fact, before Gary died, that's 3 years from now, he said Sidoti was back in prison. All drug related. And I just can't picture that kid because he was like Casper Milk Toast for crying out loud.
But and at that point, this is where I can't substantiate too much. But I swear I called my own dust off. I didn't. Because I told Rocky that story. He goes, "No, you did not."
Your radio wasn't.
Well, my radio was going.
It was
like
still
that.
working after.
Well, no, that's all it was making is a weird sound. Is what it was doing.
That radio.
And
Where was the radio when it got hit? Like, where was it on you?
on my back.
That.
It's a.
Prick 25.
It's what.
So did it stop like
Yeah.
stop the bullet from getting in there?
That's what saved my life. That prick 25, as they call it, PRRC 25. That saved my life.
Wow.
You know, without that, my whole chest would have probably been blown out.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was very, very, very fortunate. But then, of course, now they didn't want to send the medevac in because it was hot.
Well, we
And-
took you farther back, and they finally brought the medevac in.
Well,
We told them that firing was subsiding. It wasn't, but
well, I heard
Just
too,
to get 'em in?
Rack threatened their lives.
yeah, Rack was.
Rack says, "You don't come down here, a person will come looking for
Those
you."
racks are great.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Jerry Brown took the booty trap. This is on my side.
All in the same operation?
No. This one's like, hell, a year later. Almost a year later. I think it was like September, October 70. I'm on my second trip over there. And he took the booty traps. And we needed a jungle penetrator because we were working outside of Bearcat and it was just thicker than hell. They weren't going to do that. They wanted us to hump to a clearing. And I got pissed. I took the handset from the RTO and said, "Look, I can see you. I got a visual. You either send that jungle penetrator down or you're coming down." I was pissed off. They sent the jungle penetrator down. Then I was giving a speech about not caving out there. Thank you.
that one time up there in Plain Reeds where helicopter were shooting at us.
Oh,
And
that time,
Begovic-
yeah, I remember that.
Begovic told him if we didn't get that helicopter out of there, we were going to take it out of the sky.
Yep.
And we were aiming.
That was a Navy Blackhawk, or a Navy, what was it?
Seawolf.
Seawolf, yeah. Copy. Begovic always wanted an air mattress. He finally got one from Supply. Very first op. This was classic. He's blowing this damn thing up and sitting on the dike. And you go, oh man, I'm going to sleep good tonight. And I'm going, that's when that chopper came in. And we all unasked the dike, right? His air mattress looked like Swiss cheese. He was more pissed about that than he was about the freaking helicopter shooting at his head. We did put some tracers up
Yeah.
to mark the position. And then he got a little nervous because we were getting just a little too close to the lights on that bird. That was the same op when the damn boat opened up on us.
Yeah, when
Off the blue.
That'd
In
have
the
to
middle of
be.
the night, setting up an ambush, and the Navy opened up on us. Talk about no
If they moved,
coordination.
they shot.
Yeah, no coordination at all. Both
Well,
work in the same area, zero coordination.
We
But when we got him back, and Rack finally got that dust off down there, put him on the chopper. I was out. We were doing security for that helicopter land. I forget who dumped you on there, but it wasn't very
Well,
gentle. It was
I believe it
kinda
was
like
still
when-
was Rupnick again. I think that Rupnick stayed with me all the way until I got on the chopper.
Probably was up.
And Dominic, when you got hurt, Dominic picks him up and puts him over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes,
Ran me out of the wood line.
runs out, and we're behind him coming out of there. And they landed, Begovic and
Jim Rowe.
Jim
Italian
Rowe were
commander.
in the.
He was a good guy. He
was.
still is a good guy. He's
Is
still
he still
alive.
around?
93. I communicate with his daughter periodically.
They land and Dominic just tosses him in there.
Yeah,
I
throws
mean,
me on the floor.
literally throws him in there.
And what happened to you?
I got shot.
In the leg?
Yeah.
That wasn't the worst part of him getting shot.
Okay.
No, it was the red ant.
Red ants. He fell off the dike into the old nipple palm and those North Vietnamese Army
He was all covered
ants.
with them.
I knew in
Yeah.
my mouth, my nose, my ears.
Yeah.
I get over there to him and get him back up on the dike, and I'm taking the ants off of him, and his little friend over there in
The
the
guy that
spider
shot me.
hole jumps up and pow, pow, pow.
He was in a little spider hole. And he was like
And I'd
6
shoot-
feet
So he
away.
got the spider ants
This
first
idiot
before he
takes
got
a
shot,
frag
or
out.
after he got shot?
The guy
So who
shot
took
him
out?
and then
He fell.
he fell into the nipple palm off the dike and knocked him down, and the ants got to him then. And I hear him over there. I heard the shooting, and I'm headed over there to see what the heck's going on. And he's in the nipple and screaming. When I get him back up on the dike, you know, he's a little bit bigger than I am, but I got him
But
up
you did it.
I get him up there, and this little guy's shooting at us, and I'd shoot back. Pow, pow, pow. I'd get more
Yeah,
ants
he's
off
using
him. The guy'd shoot, and I'd shoot
Aiming off
back.
of my stomach, right?
Yeah, he's using him for cover.
I finally got
You
tired.
turn him long ways.
Oh,
Just a
yeah,
little-
you, brother.
hey, lie on your side for a second.
I'm on the top of the dike, he's behind it, shooting at this guy. Then he pulls
Shoot
out a
between your
flag,
legs
and
and-
I'm going, oh no, man, Davy's only 6 foot away. Plop,
I
right in
got
the
tired of this shooting back and forth, and I get the hand grenade
hole. How
out.
that guy missed me, I'll never understand.
And he said, no, we're too close. I said, shut up. I tossed that hand grenade and covered him. It went right in the hole. boom.
My whole time I'm thinking, what if it doesn't go right in the hole?
Yeah.
This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, you have to be. I guess you have to have some good aim on that one. Huh?
No, I didn't step up. I just, from laying on the dike next to him trying to get him off, I just tossed it over there.
Did you throw him on top of you after you threw it?
No.
Yeah, Tim, when
By
you were
that
talking about
time,
this
the
guy
other
that came
guys
out from
had
the
started
rear,
to show up.
Yeah.
he hated
We
it
got
back
the
there.
rest of the ants off of
Andy
him.
and Sam and I
Jeez.
all rotated
Oh.
out at the same
Forte.
time.
Yeah, y'all
Dominic
came in
Forte.
relatively
Just
close.
Yeah,
picks him
yeah.
up,
So
throws
I
him
was-
over his shoulder,
Andy
and we're
was
backing out
S1.
One, right.
I
to
was
go where
S3,
they were
and I think
landing the
Sam was
helicopter.
S4.
Yeah.
And
Dominic just
Andy
tosses
got some
him in there.
information that there was some high-ranking NDA officers.
Company
that were coming
Commander
down the road,
Begovich,
right
he's
outside
chewing
the
him
base.
out.
So the three of us decided we were going to go on
He's-
three-man patrol.
What the hell's the medic doing
So
up
we
walking
told
around with the
the
point element?
perimeter,
Just
we're
carrying
going
on. Doc,
Don't shoot.
Doc looks at me and he
Yeah,
says,
right.
Well, we
he
went out.
pulls his
nothing
wallet
happened.
out of the
So we came
his
back.
pocket.
And
He was
all
supposed
of
to
our
go
bosses
when we
found
came
out
back
about it.
in that
They ripped
time.
us.
Oh, I bet
After
they
that,
Boy,
did.
did they rip
he
us
was
a
I
supposed
bet
to
they
go on
did.
R&R.
Well, but the
So he's
thing
got a
is,
wallet full of money.
when you're out in the field,
He hands it to me and he says, hang on to this
Yeah.
for me, I'll be
so
back.
now you're sitting in a base camp, you know, you're having breakfast, lunch, and everything.
He came back about 3
So
weeks
That's what I
later.
was as a medic. When I
You know,
came
you
in,
don't
spend
want
his money?
to. You don't want to be
Yeah,
out there,
yeah.
but you want to be out there.
I
they
had
said to me, you have a,
Sam
you have
had
a choice.
his
You
in
can
the
work in the aid station or do med
supply
camps. I
room.
said, I'm doing med
He had
camps
a
'cause I want to be
little
out
safe in there.
Okay.
And we put it in there.
Oh,
We
nice.
take that med cap track with 2 Americans and a Vietnamese and go far out in the woods.
So it turned out nothing was out there. They never showed up.
Yeah.
But boy, my boss, Major Weeks, I thought he was going to kill me. Oh, you stupid son of a bitch! What the fuck did you think you were doing? Well, we thought we could get 3 high-ranking guys and bring them back.
You thought?
Seemed like a good idea at the
At the
time.
You really thought you wouldn't have done that. That's like Begovich. We're on the chopper. When I got hit, they throw me in. Chopper lifts up. Begovich didn't know I was with 2nd Platoon that day. Well, Lazorda, your medic, had an appendicitis, and I had to dust him off to 3rd Field Hospital for surgery. So naturally, I cover, right? So Begovich was chewing my ass out. I looked at Frank. I said, "Boy, you're compassionate, aren't you?"
He gets thrown in the helicopter, literally,
Yeah.
and he reaches in his pocket and he hands me his wallet. It's
I
in
was
a
getting ready to
plastic
go
bag.
on R&R.
He was. We were going to come back in the next day, and he was going to go on R&R. So he's got $500 in the wallet, and he hands it to me. He says, "Here, take care of this. I'll be back." Oh, what am I going to do with it? We put it in. Headings was had taken over supply, and Sam had a locked box in there, a little safe. We put it in that. Made sure he got his money. The reason Headings came out of the field, when Headings came out in August, Racky took over as platoon sergeant. But the reason Headings came out and went to the supply room was because some of the Remph brothers had a dice game going in there with the old Hal Holcomb, the supply sergeant. And one of them, they got paid. We were coming in the next day to get paid. Well, they got paid before we did, and they had their dice game, and one of them lost all his money, and he went and got a hand grenade and tossed it in there.
Were you there when the supply room?
First of August.
I thought you were.
Yeah.
That was probably like July or August.
It was August, first
Had to be August because I was there for
I was
that.
I was there like a month.
Yeah,
And I'm thinking, I'm like,
When'd you come in?
what kind of crazy shit is
June?
this?
Right.
I came in July.
July. I came in August, so yeah.
So were you guys all together at one point in time?
Yeah.
And who was in first?
Well,
Doc was.
I signed
No,
in,
Dave was first. I came in, what, 2 weeks or a week after you? Week and a half.
less than a week.
8th.
You came in the
He and
8th.
I were close to being the same. He came in July, I came in August.
I signed into the unit April 1st of
Yeah, and I got
69.
there the 8th.
And then how did you become
a?
how did you become a medic? Did they just assign it to you, or you asked to be?
My family has a lot of nurses, and I didn't want to be in the infantry. So I said, I'll become a medic. You see how that worked out for me, right?
Muzzle that fucking guy.
Now, yeah, he became
There's some
a
homeless
grunt
people
with a
camped over
with a target
Band-Aids.
on his back, you know.
Yeah,
Is that like in World War II where you have the medic thing and they leave you alone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's-
I'm not wearing anything to give myself.
As you can see, it didn't work for him.
No, I'm kidding.
My grandfather
A
was
good
in the
half
Army
of
in
the
World War
time
I
we
and
went to
World
the
War II. My
field,
grandfather
we didn't
was,
even
yeah.
wear our helmets.
And he
We
was
wore a
a
boonie.
bad
He's probably
Yeah.
more of a target
Okay.
being a medic, probably,
Yeah.
right?
I think so.
He told me flat out, he said, do anything you can.
Well, he carried a
just don't
rifle all
go
the
in
time,
there."
didn't he?
Yeah,
I said, got it, Pop. I'm not going to
That's
do
so-
it.
he had.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he would put it out just like the rest of us.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Right?
was not.
What's that?
You carried a rifle with
conscientious
you out there all the
objector.
time too.
Yeah, I did. But whenever anything happened, I never knew what happened to the 16. I'd have to figure it out afterwards. Because if you put it down, you can't do anything with carrying a rifle.
So what was
I had a 45 for a long time, and then somebody stole it after I got whacked. It came back after 6 weeks, and it was gone.
After my first, maybe my second operation, I was in a hooch, and I was getting ready to check the bunker in the hooch, and I couldn't quite get in, and Frank found out about it because I couldn't turn with my M16. So next thing I know, he hands me an AR-15 and a 45. And he said, can you ever go into one of those again? Use your 45.
Yeah. I only fired that 45 probably about maybe a dozen times.
Yeah.
And that was with Joe Lucas. we had bridge security for engineers,
Yeah.
east of Fruit down that road. And we were throwing empty beer cans in the river and shooting at them with the 45. Church key, drink the beer down, throw
For
it
me,
in.
it was peace of mind. I hated it because it was so fucking heavy.
Yeah.
You know, you get one round off and
And it's only good for
I
short
carried
distance.
one
yeah.
most of the time I was there.
you what?
I carried a 45 in my pocket most of the time I was there.
How'd you get it?
Huh?
How'd you get it? It wasn't regular.
He still docks.
No.
He's the one. Now you
You
know.
stole my
I
45.
just went to the supply room and told him I
50-some
wanted a
years later, we
45.
solved the mystery.
I was walking point at the time.
He still got it at his place in New
But I had a
Mexico.
12 gauge. I didn't have my M16.
Use a 12 gauge?
Yeah, I had a what they call a trench gun.
Trench? You had the trench gun?
I
That's
had
what I think I
that,
would
and I
probably
told
get.
them I wanted
Just
a
spread it out, you
45,
can't
and
miss.
they gave it to me.
We're using buckshot, right?
Yeah, single-aught buck. 3-inch shells with single-aught.
3 inch?
Yeah.
That's quite a kick, huh?
It's funny because I tried politicking very hard to get a 15.
Did
That's
you?
the way to do it,
Because
though.
the reason
There weren't that many.
Jeez.
well,
Shot.
that's
That's
the
a weapon
problem.
of choice for sure.
They said that, all right, being a roto,
They sent us out
Carry
to
a
look for a
45.
sniper.
well,
How many
back
did
when
that
we were
hold?
trained
How many
in
rounds did it hold?
45,
8.
I failed that. I couldn't hit the outside of a barn with a 45. So I said, no,
There
that's
was
no
a-
good. And then when they wouldn't give me the
sniper up
15,
in the palm
I just carried my rifle again. That's
And
all.
he'd been shooting
It wasn't a
at
big
the
deal. You know.
Well, I
vehicles
remember
going up
getting
and down
that
Thunder Road.
didn't
They
assign
sent
the
us
Bravo
out there.
Company that first operation.
They'd
I
sent
had a 16
other people
I've
out
never
to look
seen
for
one.
him, and I couldn't find him. And I
Charlie
was the
Tedder,
point
my
man.
platoon sergeant at the time. I told
We
Charlie.
were going
"Fuck
along
you."
there. Like
I
smell.
don't know what to do. What do you do with this thing? So he showed me how to put a magazine in, how to take it out. Showed me the
There
selection.
shouldn't be any civilians out in here.
How to cock it.
And so we
That was
started
it.
looking around. And
That was
right
my
around the
extent
base
of my
this
training.
one palm
That's all you
tree
needed.
Yeah. First stop, we go out, we're setting up a
along
night
with
in.
macro
We got
cans
him.
and some other stuff.
And I'm shooting this thing, and
Look
I
up
probably
there,
shot the
there's a
stars
road.
out of the sky.
And the Tiger Scouts yelled.
Well, that's
at
how
this
that's
guy.
how I knew I was going
Vietnamese.
infantry.
And he
You know,
shoots
in
down
boot camp, you're training with the
3
14.
rounds.
Yeah.
Well, I had what
So
in
we
week
sat
7.
there a little bit.
They called
Tiger
out
Scout
50
yells at
guys.
him again,
And you got 16 training.
And they
Two
marched us down to
rounds
a different
Two
area too,
rounds
a
up
different
in the
rifle
back.
range.
That
And
was
I remember the
Turkey
first
shoot.
time I looked at it, I went,
He's
Street by
hanging
fucking
by the
hotel.
Yeah.
And
How many
it looked like a space
American
car.
GIs
Yeah.
do you know that
But that
climb
we trained on that,
Hawks?
and then when I got in infantry, we trained on the M16 and infantry.
Recall
So
the
I was
other
pretty,
squad
I was pretty good with the
over there.
16. I was fine with
Good
that,
one.
you know. And yeah, I
There was
was.
a guy in that squad.
Again,
called
I had one problem with it, and that was my
Francois
fault.
Lapierre. He was a French.
When I was loading up, I didn't check it
Frank-
close enough, and cartridge was bad.
Frankie
Yeah, I
was
never had
in
a
love
problem
with explosives.
Remember
He was-
Youngblood? Pardon me?
Nobody
Youngblood?
would
Oh yeah, I know
close to
Youngblood well. Yeah, I remember him well.
Boy, was he good.
Lapierre.
Oh, Lapierre. Did you remember Lapierre, the French Canadian in 3rd Platoon?
Little short guy,
He
scrawny.
he'd get glassy-eyed and breathe heavy when he got around explosives. It's scary, man.
Oh, he used to carry the
Yeah, the C4
Oh,
in
he
his
loved
helmet
blowing
bag.
everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about that.
So we go on this yacht, and it's the headquarters element. Begovic and I and the gang are with the 3rd Platoon. Begovic has us set up. We found a bunch of EC bunkers on a blue. Has us set up in the bunkers. I'm not liking that already. He says, "Well, if they come home, we can get them." Yeah, right. Right. So Lapierre asked Begovic if he could set up a mechanical ambush on the blue.
Upstream of where we were.
Yeah.
Upstream.
Upstream.
So Frank says, "Sure, go ahead." It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. It's pitch dark. He threw that ambush. I swear to God, he lowered the water level 3 feet. It was like toothpicks coming down. That was the only thing left of that sampan on top of us, water on top of us, and everything else. It's like, what the hell? I thought Begovic was going to have a heart attack. What the hell was that? Says, you let him do it, dude.
But that
Shorty also.
that time when I shot that sniper in the
Yeah,
tree,
he shot a sniper.
We
in a
called-
palm tree.
we
Coconut
called
trees.
Lapierre over there, and I told him, I said, we want you to knock this tree down so we can get him out of there.
Oh, no, not Lapierre.
I'm sure he did.
Oh,
fireworks.
Are you kidding?
It came down, but
put
it
bullets
went up first.
Bullets
And
over
then
here.
it
like a
and
rocket
beating
launch.
off at the same
looked like a
like a rocket launch.
giant arrow going over and
How many
landed.
blocks of C4 did he put around the
I
tree?
don't know.
He wrapped
We
it
were
with that
backing
board
off.
NC4.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that thing went.
Well, you needed a sniper, right?
No, it was.
Is there anything left?
Lapierre was probably what, 5'3", 5'4"?
He was shorter than I am. but We get over there. If I hadn't killed the guy, he was dead when he slammed into that dike or that patty over there. Good hell. We
So
cut
Lapierre
him
brought a
out.
duffel bag one time to the field.
Just C4?
Explosive, dead cord, C4, plastic cap. What the
Oh.
hell are you doing with that? Well, you know, we might need it.
Yeah,
Marty Boom Nutsy?
Yeah, nobody
Please.
hung around there.
Please, no. You're absolutely right.
You know, everybody had a little bit of C4,
Yeah.
maybe a pound.
Right.
He'd have 2, 3
And-
sticks
and-
in his...
We'd cook with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not Lapierre. He's got cases of dead cord. I never used dead cord. Lapierre did.
First time I saw him with the C4 in his helmet, it was like, oh boy, okay.
Had to wonder.
When did he come in country?
I
Was he
don't
there
know.
when you were there?
He came after I was there.
Yeah, he was only there a short while too. I don't know what happened to him.
He
Another one of those guys that was there and then
gone.
moved to a different unit. He wasn't hurt, wasn't injured.